How's it going, everybody? This is going to be a tour of the Grings mill track here. Didn't get to do this last year, so I'm excited to explain this for this year. So the starting point's going to be that little map stand thing there. I don't really know what to call it, but that is our starting point. Already starts off with a pretty cool part of this. You have this huge river here that goes through, and you get to go over this nice big drawbridge. With my light on top, like, I'm still fine with standing, but I am cutting it pretty close with how the Baja board is jacked up. And it's mainly gravel. There are a couple like short asphalt pieces, and we have a little bit of dirt as well that you will see a little later. Even though this is mainly flat, there's a lot of bumps and stuff in here and some very slight turns that can definitely throw off your balance a little bit. So it can be a little tricky. Also, I wasn't able to get out here until later in the day, unfortunately. So for the good part, this is you seeing what it would look like in a pretty busy time of the day. So just in case those are the times you can get out there, this is how it's going to look for you. So here there's two paths. We do a loop here when I do the time trial. So as you saw there, I ended up doing the one that bogged uphill and going down. And then on the way back, I take the flyer part because your battery's going to be down a little bit more. Here we go under this little path. You have to really squat down to get under there because you're not going to be able to stand straight and get past there. So that's kind of a fun part. Now this is like the max busyness of the place. Even on a slow day, you're probably going to run into some people. But like I said before, this was probably peak time for this, so you can see how many people are around for this part of it. So of course, you know, just be careful. Make sure you ain't flying around here when you see a bunch of bodies like that. And then on a slower day, this would be the time that you can kind of kick in the high gear and just rip it. Now we're coming to the second split of the track. I did kind of miss it there, so I had to bog down that hill a little. But this is going to be the off-roading part. On the other side, it's just pure gravel, and you'll see that on the way back. Again, because of less battery, you kind of don't want to stress out this much. So this here, you can ignore the bike path completely if you want. As you can see, you can kind of make your own path there. Just because the way it's worn in, it's pretty narrow. So you pretty much make your best judgment of how you can get through there. And of course, some hits on the camera knock the rest of it off, so I'm gonna end up fast forwarding here, and you will see this on the time trial track next week. So if you want to see the rest of it, check it out. Now we're back to what I think is like the calmest part of the whole trail. Mainly flat. You'll get a few bumps here and there, but not as intense as the beginnings part. So we're coming up to the first asphalt piece here. It's not super long. You end up getting back in the gravel shortly here. And then this is the second little asphalt piece, and you go under this bridge, so that's kind of neat. And then this straight here is actually really nice to really rip it through here when you don't see anybody around. kind of like that here too. You actually go over quite a few drawbridges, or just bridges. The first one's the really big one, and you have like these little ones here and there, which is kind of neat. This is a 3-section course. Altogether, it's about like 11 miles. This would be my first time cutoff for the time trial over that pole there. Just in case of bad traffic, it's kind of stinks to wait for the street there.
Alright, currently at 86%.
This also became a range test as well, converting from the belt to the gear drive system. You will end up hearing me here and there discussing about the range and the battery that I have going on. Alright, so now we're back to the second section here. We just start at the end of this little, they have these little round like drops there. Or, not drops. I think the better way to term it is round plateaus. And that's kind of where I start the timer again then as well. And this one here, like I said, I'm on busier days, but normally there's like nobody on these sections, and I can just rip right on through these. But this is section number 2. And this is when the trail starts getting a little bit more turns in here, and some sketchy ones as well. Because it's gravel and it almost has like this slight like sandiness to it. That's one thing that makes me really enjoy this trail, is that there's a lot of multiple terrains that you really have to deal with here. I cut off the timer when we cross that one post-it pole there, because that's another street that we have to cross.
All right, now we're sitting at 79%.
So we're going to start the pole markers here. And this is the third section, and this is where we get to do the little loop to go back. Now this section is where you get some of the most rockiest sections, and there is a lot of steep up and downs, and you'll kind of see that shortly, so it's a little difficult. Alright, so this is when I end up merging with two different tracks that I have put together. So not only is this the loop for the Baja board, this is also the Grings mill circuit for the one wheel. So we will show a little bit of that as well. The Baja board is going to kind of show what would be the first lap for the one wheel as well. It's really the only section that the Baja board can handle for the most part. It might be able to do one of the others, but I think because of how much this hugs the trail, it'd be a little weird. And yeah, I really didn't get myself prepared for that turn at all either. Hit up this tabletop here. So then that's when the Baja board would bow out. This is going to be the one wheel's shenanigans. You see there's a little bit of an off-trail path here, which actually can be a little tricky because there's a lot of debris settling there. And that you don't have to do that jump, you could bow out there like I did. And yeah, there's a lot of whoop-de-doos in this little mountain bike skills park. there. It's just a little less intense drop off into the debris section. The fourth lap for the one wheel, we would just redo the first, but these are just some of the jumps that you can go into. This one I've never tried to attempt. It actually terrifies me just because how little of a flat drop off you have there. It's a pretty big jump. But this is the second jump here. It's the first time I tried to do that. It took me a few times to get that nailed down, and even then I was tail dragging, so it's a little nervous, but it can be done. And this here, there was that one where you could bow out. This jump actually isn't too terrible. It is a pretty steep incline, as you can see, so it does make the landing kind of weird, but it's not terrible, and it is doable, so I might end up adding that into the Grings Mill Circuit series. We're pretty much all done here. I'm just going to bow out. I'm going to let myself that recorded here take care of the range test for you. And this will be my time of signing off.
Alright, so that's pretty much the course there. We are going to see if I can make it back to the end, so I'm at 77%. But as far as the rest, anything that you saw me going to like chunky off-roading, we're just going to be doing the flat ground pavement for that. If you do want to see the whole thing, you can see the time trial track coming up next week. But I will be coming in here and there to discuss battery level and such. All right, we are at 77%. All right, I am at 67%, and this is going to be the long haul. So we'll see how we do. Camera lens got a little messed up, but we finished with 37%, so this is definitely going to be an endurance race for this thing. And it does confirm my theory of losing some range from this, converting from the belt and the gear drive. So if anybody was concerned about that, now you know. All right, thank you all for watching. See you next week.